Step into the thrilling world of the Winchester Rifle, a legendary firearm that echoes through history from the dusty trails of the Wild West to the pixelated battlegrounds of modern games. Picture Terminator unleashing chaos with a sawed-off Winchester, or Dr. Emmett Brown brandishing it in Back to the Future. Yet peel back the cinematic veneer and uncover the reality, a rifle with a unique charm blending power and range. Join the adventure as we dissect Winchester's portrayal in movies, unveil its gaming fame, and expose the real-life firepower. Get ready for a wild ride through Winchester wonders. It all began in April 1857 when Oliver Winchester and his partner bought the bankrupt Volcanic Repeating Arms Company. The creator of the distinctive trigger of the Winchester, a man named Benjamin Henry, worked there. By the way, at the time, the company belonged to Smith & Wesson, who would later become known for their revolvers. However, during that era, they were involved in the development and production of lever-action rifles and pistols. This was a revolutionary solution at the time, as gunsmiths in the 19th century had long been trying to create multi-shot weapons. The lever-action mechanism provided the opportunity to produce repeating rifles. The principle of its operation is quite simple. After firing, you perform a semicircular motion of the trigger guard around the trigger, leading to ejecting the cartridge case and loading a new round. This is how Oliver Winchester, collaborating with Benjamin Henry, established the New Haven Arms Company. Under the wing of this new company, Henry managed to invent a powerful new cartridge called the 44 Henry with rimfire ignition. It had an initial velocity of 343 meters per second, and the energy of such a bullet was 770 joules. The distinctive feature of rimfire cartridges is that the firing pin strikes the side of the base, not the center, which in turn led to the creation of new rifle models like the Volcanic, ensuring the company's tremendous success. But after sales started rising, Benjamin Henry naturally wanted to earn more and sought to increase his stake in the business. At some point, he even attempted to take full control of the company. However, Oliver Winchester managed to outmaneuver him. He reorganized the company and this time named it after himself, Winchester Repeating Arms Company. After that, he slightly modified and improved the basic design of the Henry rifle, allowing it to be loaded through a side gate. In 1866, the first Winchester rifle was introduced, firing the same 44 caliber cartridges as the Henry, but with a magazine capacity increased from 7 to 14 rounds. Additionally, it featured a wooden stock for the first time. By that time, the cartridges invented by Henry were losing their relevance, and centerfire metallic cartridges, the ones we use today, were taking their place. In 1873, Winchester introduced the legendary model, featuring the first centerfire metallic cartridge. As a result, the rifle became so popular that it earned the nickname the gun that won the West, because a skilled shooter could empty the rifle's magazine in just 15 seconds, an incredible feat at that time. However, despite its impressive rate of fire, the rifle had relatively low power, with a bullet energy of only 930 joules and an effective range of 400 to 800 meters. For comparison, the older Springfield rifle, which was in service before this, was single-shot and could fire only 2 to 3 rounds per minute. However, the energy of its bullet was 3,500 joules. In contrast, the Mosin Nagant rifle could hit targets up to 1.5 kilometers away with a bullet energy of 4,200 joules. Winchester didn't seem very impressive compared to such rifles, but then came the 1876 model known as the Centennial model. This new rifle was an enlarged version of the 1873 model, designed for longer and more powerful cartridges. After Oliver Winchester's death, his company collaborated with John Browning, who developed a whole series of rifles and shotguns. Subsequently, the company went through about 6 presidents, and the Winchester models expanded to include a vast variety of different rifles. An interesting fact is that despite the widespread popularity of Winchester rifles, only a few models were adopted by the military, one of which was the Winchester M1895. It was an experimental model for a long time, but at the beginning of World War I, the rifle made its way to the front lines, notably in the ranks of the Russian forces. To achieve this, the Winchester Company even agreed to modify the rifle for the Russian 7.62 by 54mm cartridge, and by 1917, around 300,000 of these rifles were shipped to Russia. However, the majority of Winchesters remained highly popular among civilian populations, serving as hunting weapons or for self-defense. Consequently, rifle production continued on a mass scale until 1919. Later on, besides the legendary series of rifles, the Winchester Company diversified its production to include shotguns, machine guns, and more. On January 16, 2006, the factory where these legendary Winchester rifles and shotguns had been manufactured for 140 years was closed. However, in 2010, a different company resumed Winchester production. For instance, modern versions of the iconic rifle are currently being produced under the name Winchester SXP. Now, let's embark on a wild ride to decode just how truthfully the Winchester holds up in movies and games compared to the real deal. Picture this: Terminator, the ultimate action hero, rocking a sawed-off Winchester model 1887 shotgun. In the movie, Terminator unleashes a barrage of 8 shots without a single reload. But hold your popcorn, because the real Winchester model could only handle a max of 5 cartridges in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber, making it a classic movie blooper in terms of round capacity. Fast forward to Back to the Future 3, where Dr. Emmett Brown flaunts a Winchester rifle, a favorite in westerns. If you've been glued to the screen, you might think this rifle is the epitome of power and coolness. Cowboys in shootouts usually wielded revolvers, but when the going got tough, out came the Winchester. However, the real-life Winchester wasn't a superhero. Its stopping power was pretty much on par with a trusty revolver. Movie magic, folks. Alright, buckle up for a joyride through the wild world of Winchester wonders. Back in the day, using a revolver was like having a pocket-sized superhero at close range, compact and handy. But hold on to your cowboy hats, because here comes the Winchester, strutting in with a swagger that says, "I've got the range." This bad boy could hit targets up to 500 meters away, making it the Cowboys' long-distance love affair. It's not because the rifle was Hulk-level powerful, but hey, that extended effective range had Cowboys swooning. Now, shift gears to the modern gaming arena, where the legendary Winchester steals the show. PUBG players, you know the drill. But here's the twist: in the PUBG universe, the Winchester doesn't play favorites. Its firepower is practically a twin to the Kar 98K, 66 base damage, just like its sniper buddy, the AWM, dealing 105 damage. But hold your joystick. In the real world, the difference between these weapons is more colossal than a dinosaur-sized ice cream cone. The Arctic Warfare Magnum laughs in the face of the Winchester, boasting muzzle energy nearly 10 times greater. Even compared to the Kar 98K, the Winchester is a tortoise in this race, lagging far behind with only a quarter of the bullet energy. So, whether it's framed in a movie or pixelated in a game, the Winchester may look cool, but now you've got the backstage pass to the whole truth. If this Winchester wisdom tickled your fancy, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next wild ride.